Thanks so much. Thank you.
I can believe you're here. I can't believe I'm here. That's what's the amazing thing.
Thank
Gee,
you.
it's nice to see you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cavett. I must say I've been looking forward to this. You know, I've never been brainwashed before, and I'm kind of anxious to know what it's like.
Oh, well, we do nice work here. We'll have it back tomorrow.
I see.
I could tell the second you walked out you were from Nebraska. It was just that something about that.
That's very good knowing. What did I do?
It's something about the way we people from Nebraska move and walk. I don't know what it is.
Yes.
You have a little more of it than I do, but there you are. Please stay. If you don't, I'll be in big trouble. We have a message, and we'll be right back with Fred Astaire. If you just joined us, it's me and Fred Astaire. You know, I wonder if people thought I was kidding when I mentioned Nebraska. You do come from Nebraska originally.
Oh,
You
yes.
born there?
Yes, I do indeed. Omaha.
Omaha, yeah.
Yes.
I was from a little farther west. But do you remember Nebraska, or did you leave it very early?
I left it quite early, but I've been back there.
Yeah.
Not very often, but I was there a couple of years ago, and I have relatives there. It's a lovely place.
You know, everybody assumes that you were, I always would anyway, that you were probably born dancing. That would be inconvenient, but I mean, that you probably...
Well, of course, I may have been. I don't remember particularly, but I kind of doubt it. It seems to me I fell into it some funny way.
Well, that's what I wonder. Can you remember a time before you danced, or can you remember exactly when you started?
Yes, I can. You see, my sister went to dancing school in Omaha, Nebraska. And as a matter of fact, I had it in a book I wrote. I'd forgotten until just now. I remember. I just seem to remember that I went along for the ride, just in getting into dancing. I didn't know anything about it. I used to see her in the dancing school, and I just saw her, and I didn't know what it was all about, particularly. So I was, you know, we were both very small.
How old were you right then?
Oh, I suppose I was about 3.5 or 4.
Oh. Did you have any career ambitions at that point?
I'm afraid I didn't know quite what was going on.
Can you remember your first step when the first Astaire step that you took?
No. You see, that Omaha thing. I mean, we got away from there at the age of about 4.5, and then the only time we went back there at all was for an appearance in the Orpheum Theater, and that was when we were little kids. We were about maybe 8, and we had become professionals by that time. And is this a part of the brainwashing?
Oh yeah, I have to know all about it. Now, was your sister? Your sister was older than you were. Was she taller than you were?
Well, I'm not going to say she was older than I am because she hates that. So.
Okay, you don't have to say that.
So, but anyway, no, she doesn't care. She's a marvelous gal, and we have I just saw her today. We had a great time. And see, where were we? We were talking about.
You were in Nebraska, and you were about. Just beginning to learn to dance.
At the age of 4.5. No, when I learned to dance, I really didn't learn in Nebraska. I learned in New York. We came to New York, and we went to a dancing school called Albion Dancing School. And I was very much interested in other things. I know I went, and when I got into the actual dancing, I thought it was kind of fun. And then we learned acting. We did Cyrano de Bergerac and a couple of things as kids. I played Roxanne, the little girl with a blonde wig. Oh, it was a cute thing. And my sister played Cyrano. I have some pictures of that.
Your sister played Cyrano, and you?
Yeah, she was a little taller than I was, you see.
Yeah. You know, we have a picture that may surprise you. I hope it does. I don't know if she cooperated in getting this for us or not. In fact, maybe this is it. Can you... Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Can you take a look at that?
That was...
Right here, center.
That was not Cyrano de Bergerac. That was a little number we had in our first act.
When you and Adele Astaire danced so many years on Broadway, and then she decided to leave, how did she break that to you?
Well, she didn't have to break it to me. I felt it coming on. She got a little tired of all bothering with dancing, and she fell in love, and she wanted to get married, and that was it. And I knew that she should have done exactly what she did, and I was more or less happy because I knew I would have to face the world.
Face the world.
Wow. Yeah. And anyway, you know, it's kind of vague in my mind. I've had nothing but kind of fun out of it all, and it was never a problem. It's just a matter of making the transition from being a part of a team. And the first thing I did away from Adele, I did a show in New York here called Gay Divorce. Yeah. And we got some terrible notices. It ran quite a long time, and I was pleased about that because we made it into somewhat of a success, but it was the first picture, a first show, Broadway show, away from my sister. We'd had other things before that had done well. And away from her, they started to jump on me and say, well, this proves that 2 Astaires are better than 1. You know, and I looked as if I was looking off in the wings for my sister to come out and rescue me. That was one fellow said that in the paper.
Must have been a jolt.
Well, it made me absolutely sick to my stomach, if you want to know the truth. I didn't know. But it was more or less a thing that just happens to you. It's bound to happen. The thing changed, and we surmounted that, well, it went on. I got the job done. The show was okay, and so forth. You know.
And you probably never dreamed at that moment that someday all of that would turn out well and you would be on the Dick Cavett Show.
Well,
or did you? You don't need to answer that.
All right.
When we come back, we're going to take a look at another film clip, and okay. I'd like to hear you. I'd like to introduce it though before we do. So okay. that'll be fun. We'll be back right after this message of interest. Talking with Fred Astaire. We have that great number from Let's Dance, and I just wondered, it goes by like magic on the screen. Can you remember, as you look back on these things, how long it took to rehearse these things?
That's the piano. There's a piano. Yeah, piano.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's an awful long time to rehearse all those numbers.
Yeah.
See, I'd start like 3 or 4 weeks ahead on a number like that, and sometimes longer. And with other numbers in a picture, like 5 other numbers, we get about 3 or 4 started for the picture, and then we'd get to the point of having to shoot something of the story, and maybe a couple of those numbers, and then at the end of the picture, we'd get after getting about 3 or 4 numbers, there'd be still 3 or 4 to get at the end. So then we'd rehearse those last 3 and then do them later. You see, it's so hard to get them all in the beginning and rehearse all of them in the beginning because you forget what you've done after shooting about a month or 2 of dialogue and story. See, do I make myself completely unclear?
It seems preposterous. It's hard to believe that you could keep all those things in your head, the dancing and the acting,
it's true.
And make the two work as well as you did. It's just
create routines. It takes a long time because there's so much stuff you try and it doesn't work, and you edit it, and then you get disgusted with it, or else if you're working with a girl, it's very difficult too because.
Oh,
you got to please the girl. You would like to know.
I'd like to know about that.
Well, I'm the guy that can tell you.
All right.
Well, I've had a lot of interesting times with that. It's really nice to know that you've done it. I mean, that you've done it.
It must be nice to know that these things are on film. You know, I would think you would look back and think if you had only danced always on the stage, they're not there for people to keep looking at all the time. And this thing from Let's Dance, I've seen it several times, but it's just...
well, I always liked this number, actually. There's a lot of tricks in it, and they took a long time to plan and get to work, you know.
Do you mind taking a look at it now?
I'd like to see that.
Let's take a look at it.
I don't